Hello everybody and welcome back to Fallout 4's second expansion, the Wasteland Workshop. In today's video we're probably going to finish up down here because we've got the traps in place, which there are a number of them, which are going to completely batter the creatures coming out of those cages and actually give the settlers a chance of fighting them, most likely. But I feel like there needs to be stuff up here to actually, sort of give them some cover and actually give this area a purpose, because currently it's just sort of an elevated area where nothing happens, essentially. All of the traps are on the lower flattened out area because it was used to place them there. But this entire upper area now has essentially no purpose. But obviously that's the way of regulating my movement speed so I can go back again. I've learnt new console commands specifically for doing these videos now. So I know how to rotate objects, I know how to precise position them, I know how to set the time of day and stuff. This is things that you might think this is something you should have learnt at the very beginning. Yes it is, because they are incredibly useful, in all fairness. I have no idea if meeting thing has made the weather change or not, I have no idea, but I set the time of day to 8 o'clock and I can keep doing that whenever I need to essentially sort of regulate the time so it's actually staying at a relatively useful time frame for us to use. I think I'm going to actually use the concrete walls in this section, these sort of cinder blocky ones, because they are pretty much what I was looking for. Sort of cover based things for the settlers to run down and use. I'm not going to put it right up against the wall, I want it to be slightly out, and then raise it up and shrink it back down to the floor slightly. There we go, that's one. I think we're going to have some variation in different ones. I don't want it to all just be the same brick thing. Also, I want to put some different things here. I don't want it to just be, here's some concrete walls that you see in every video game. Did I just stand on a trap? Yep, okay. Because of the new sort of menu system added by certain keywords, navigating these things is going to be sort of awkward for me for a while. Also, it causes this weird loading bug where it just waits for half an hour and won't actually let you select anything from a menu, which is dumb and irritating. But I need some sort of, I want some sort of wrecked cars and things here as well, not just, I keep walking into the traps I've placed. Obviously that's not going to be the positioning of it, I just wanted to put down that as a base. Let's move this for now. Yeah, I want there to be some sort of variation in the different types of cover that they have available. That quite nicely has actual physics, which means it can be battered around by the death claws and different things that are going to be coming at the settlers, which is quite nice. It also means that, it can kill the settlers with its dodgy ass physics that it'll just, kill them by coming into contact with them, which is, there's always a chance of that with anything you add in a Fallout game. Well, specifically this one with building and the cars, because they have really weird physics for no apparent reason. As you probably learnt from my Automatron playthrough, I have died to a particular car in a particular location a few times in the past, and so now I tend to avoid it. But I think we're going to put a fire barrel quite nicely in this corner, which doesn't have physics, which is exactly what I wanted, because now I can actually precisely I can precisely place those objects where I actually want to put them. I think we're going to have another one slightly further down here, maybe about here? Actually no, I kind of want to keep the main pit of the arena unlit, essentially, because I want that area to be lit up by the spotlights during the fight. So I'm going to put the other fire barrel here, just to give the contestants some sort of things to wait around in between the cages being readied for them to get their asses handed to them. I think we might also put some other vegetation and stuff in here just to add some sort of variation, because currently they've got these two bits of cover up here, and that's kind of it, really. There are some other different things I've seen around here in MISC structures. There's the tents and the spiked poles and different things. I'm not sure if these are added by mods or these are actually something added by Wasteland Workshop, but they are pretty cool looking and quite intimidating. They are sort of the sort of, wow, brain. They are the sort of thing that you'd see inside bandit settlements, the raider settlements and stuff all over the Wasteland, so kind of cool to have them around in here. Sort of different box with different cages and stuff in, and there's the whole things with the meat pipes and stuff. I think I'm going to go with the spiky looking tent. I think that might work. That works best. It's just finding a place to put that inside of here. I think maybe there will do. Well, that kind of blocks one of the settlers coming out of there. Maybe just there will do. Is that going? That's going into the ceiling up there. There. This is really awkward getting this one positioned. No, it's going up way too high. It goes into that command center bit. I'm gonna have to move this to somewhere else then. Maybe just there. That looks kind of cool. So we're just adding bits of things to here to actually give it some sort of differentiation between just being, you know, this pit filled with traps that it was previously. Now it has some sort of different things lining the area. It looks a little more intimidating. And then this trap area is definitely, you know, covered in traps still. Does this trigger whenever you stand near it? Oh, okay, it's just when you walk towards it. So you would walk towards it and then drop into those spikes, hopefully, if you're a dumbass settler. Also, I haven't really tested this one, but I'm assuming that would trigger both of those, and that would then electrocute whoever's standing nearby, which could be a Red Scorpion Deathclaw, or one of the 5 settlers that can spawn up there and make their way down into this pit of death that has been laid out before them. But that's the main area laid out and done. I'm pretty happy with how this has sort of turned out, but we're now going to start work on the above areas, these sort of areas where spectators are going to stand, the spectator stands. That's pretty much what they're called. Which are going to be laid out in sort of a stacked motion, I think. Having a sort of row of seats running along this area, this sort of like half block back area, so they can sort of see what's going on down there, and you can also have standing people here, and then have a slightly raised up section with another set of chairs which could then see in slightly further into the arena, and then maybe another one or a set of walls here. But that's going to be how this stand's laid out, and I'm going to get to work with that in a speed build, so I will be back with you guys very shortly, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so 2 hours of work later, and we have this, which is pretty much a completed spectator stand, well, at least on this side, because I haven't actually gotten to doing any of the chairs there, or up there yet, because I haven't built either of the end pieces. But this is the sort of main frame of it. I've used these pillars, which are these sort of like nice one block sort of pillars that are added by Wasteland Workshop, to hold up these roofing tiles, which are added by one of the housing mods, which are in the description. But these are essentially just the corrugated metal roofs, but they don't actually have any holes in, and actually look nice. And that serves as a thing to obviously keep the spectators dry, apart from if you're on the front row apparently, because the rain still gets in, which kind of makes sense. But what I've done here is put these chairs, which are just over the halfway mark of the concrete blocks added by Wasteland Workshop. Then there's a second set of these concrete blocks with the chairs positioned basically here, which creates this row that goes all the way across there, and then there's also a third elevated area using the half blocks, these sort of thin little blocks that are just singular, all the way across this back row, creating the final and third row that runs all the way down here. I have used these stairs to sort of give access to on both sides, and also there's a second wall here, which just essentially covers up the hole that is right around the back of these, because these don't run all the way up against the original wall, so I added these ones which fit quite nicely along here, and then lights above. I've also added some little decoration here with a new colour machine and a milk machine and some posters which are added by another nice little mod, which should be in the description if I'm going to put it there. I have also, as you can probably see on the other side, there's wheelchairs over there, because I feel like there's probably going to need to be some form of wheelchair access, right? Because not everyone who comes to these things is going to be able to walk by themselves, they might need a wheelchair, so having somewhere to store the wheelchairs out of the way so it doesn't become a hazard for other viewers, and just generally having it as a little decoration seems kind of nice and fitting for the place. So I've put those over there. I'm probably going to put like 2 on this side as well, just to sort of, you know, balance it out. But yeah, that's it. That's the spectator stands, and I'm going to get to work on the others, and I'll finish those for the next episode. So I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you very soon.